Hey, Riley here from Let's Do Wet. We have compiled a list of 5 games that we are really excited for in the month of April coming out on Kickstarter. So we'll just leave a little brief description of each game and you can see if you like any of them, and then you can back them and wait another year for them to come out. But if you could leave a like or a subscribe, that would really help our channel. And well, let's get to it. First up, number 5, where players relentlessly fight to the last crumb in a 2 to 10 player trick-taking card game, Deadly Desserts. Your starting hand is determined by the number of players ranging from 2 to 10. You start with a handful of fun food-inspired champion cards that really come to life and make the game a lot more enjoyable. Each player starts with 500 health in the form of cookies, pancakes, and cinnamon swirls. What's interesting about Deadly Desserts is it's almost a not trick-taking card game. In this game, you're trying to avoid losing health. Like in standard trick-taking games like Hearts or Spades, you play suits. The suits in this game are Earthy Enchanters, Brawny Barbarians, Robotic Refreshments, and of course, Deadly Desserts. Make sure to avoid being stuck with these Deadly Dessert cards at the end of the game because they cause you to lose a lot of health. The game ends when the first person loses all of their health tokens. Whoever has the most health at the end of the game is the winner. Deadly Desserts incorporates various player counts into a game with classic, time-tested mechanics, which suits all ages. The Feud Champion pack comes in at $25. For $10 more, you can upgrade to the Flinging Scoops pack that includes an ice cream cone hat and 3 scoops of ice cream, which doesn't really seem worth the upgrade unless they meet their stretch goals. We are excited for Deadly Desserts to release in December of 2020. Coming in at number 4, we have Moonshine Empire, a worker placement / pick up deliver game. The theme of this game is unique and brings the mechanics together perfectly. It is set in a swamp where Poppy has been making quality moonshine for over 50 years. But Poppy is ready to retire and is holding a competition to see who will take over his Moonshine Empire. The basics of the game are placing meeples, or I guess you could say your cousins, on your camp to upgrade distilleries. They can also be used to produce moonshine. You can also have them moonlight so you can receive some extra cash, and that will help out in the auction phase later. There are many different orders to fill from customers in the swamp. Rewards are reflected by the amount of product delivered. The cash you get can be used at the auction where you bribe Pappy to get better gear. The player's bribe that is the highest gets first dibs, so if you want that gear, it is smart to pay up. In order to deliver your moonshine, you must invest in a vehicle. Some move more spaces than others and can go on land, water, or both. This game has a couple cool aspects where you have to avoid gators and police so you don't lose your stash. There's also an exploring aspect to it where you find people in the swamp and you get little perks for doing so. Fill any customer order once you deliver the moonshine to Pappy. But be careful, if you have any customer orders at the end of the game, they go against your score. We are excited for the release in February 2021. The standard edition is $49. The deluxe edition is $59, adding 10 unit grade upgrade cards, 4 player mats, 4 player screens, and Pappy's scoring pad. Brought to you by Mighty Boards. Excavation Earth comes in at number 3 on our list. We just can't explain how excited we are for this title to come out. The fun futuristic plot of this game depicts Earth a century from now as a trash-ridden planet with no life left on it. The races of a neighboring solar system have a curiosity for artifacts left behind by extinct races. In Excavation Earth, you lead one of 4 alien explorers on their quest to excavate rare human artifacts and curate the ultimate art collection to sell off for maximum profit. Excavation Earth is a competitive game of market manipulation and set collection for up to 4 players. You play a race of alien explorers that landed on Earth to prospect for artifacts and sell them for profits for end game scoring. Actions are performed using multi-use cards after being drawn at the beginning of each round. You move around the board with explorers to get the artifacts by excavating or dealing them at the black market. You can influence the price at the bazaar to make more on your sales. This game is all about selling at the right time to boost profits and leaving other players in the dust. It's like a fun little futuristic stock market game, because as you sell, the demand of those specific artifacts go down. A lot can change in this game in the blink of an eye, and you have to be ready for anything. You can also choose to collect the artifacts instead of selling them to earn points for sets. The game ends after 3 rounds, and the player that has the most money at the end of the game is declared victorious. There are 19 days left to back this on Kickstarter. It is already fully funded, but they still have some pretty attractive price points on Kickstarter. The base game is just $50. For $70, the Envoy upgrade adds the second wave expansion and the elusive artifacts promo pack, including all stretch goals unlocked. For $15 more at $85, the collector edition adds an exclusive alien metal coin set with 52 pieces. We will be eagerly waiting for this to be on our doorstep in November 2020. Number 2 is Sanctuary, the Keeper's Era, brought to you by Tabula Games. It is a competitive, fast-paced, hand management deck building game, depicted with imaginative brand new fantasy lore. The game features 6 unique faction decks, illustrated with more than 135 stunning artworks by a team of international artists. I mean, guys, these cards look frickin' awesome. According to the legends of Elnirth, a powerful mystic energy was flowing dangerously through the world. To avoid catastrophic events, that energy was split into 6 parts, called the Essences. Sanctuaries are the only way to channel the power of the Essences. Players impersonate the Keepers. Each one is attuned to an essence and rules over a faction. The Keepers are fighting each other to preserve their sanctuaries and themselves. The goal of the game is to destroy all the opponent's sanctuaries, to become the only keeper able to shape the fate of the world through their essence. This game has sound mechanics that keep a nice flow to the game, and each faction seems to have a unique way of playing, giving it nice replayability. Pick your faction and discover its unique strategic paths. All cards have abilities that can trigger powerful synergies starting from sanctuaries. Sanctuary cards have 2 tracks. A Jaeus counter decreases when they get damaged, while Splendor counter increases at every turn. When a sanctuary has reached the maximum splendor, it unleashes all of its power. With your essence crystals, you can deploy your acolytes to attack the opponent's sanctuaries and defend your own. During the attack phase, acolytes in attack position will face the opponents in the defense position of each sanctuary. When confronting each other, they count the damage they can deal, and if it's higher than the opponent's health, they successfully destroy it. You have to get familiar with the attributes of your acolytes. Some abilities trigger only in certain conditions, and can make the battle more and more challenging. An interesting event going on during their Kickstarter campaign is that they are watching over the comment section and will reward the most enthusiastic supporter by illustrating them into the game. There are a few different pledge levels for this Kickstarter. The Lands of Dawn pack includes 3 different decks, including Thanen, Antra, and Gonto. The Thanen play as more of an agile deck with quick mobility to get around their opponents. The Antra deck uses abilities to exhaust their enemies to get around them. The Ganto are able to do damage and heal, which seems to really appeal to me personally. The next pledge level is the Lands of Dusk pack, including the 3 other races, Crass, Molran, and Wool. The Crass have more of a mob playstyle where they can sacrifice certain cards to better defeat their enemies. The Molran help each other by giving different bonuses depending on how they are aligned on the battlefield and which are in play. The Wool have the ability to raise fallen warriors, which seems like one of the more interesting decks from this pack. Both packs cost $13 each, which seems to me like a pretty good deal, as it includes the 3 decks and 15 plastic crystals, 2 aid cards, 16 cardboard tokens, 5 solo cards, and 18 solo tokens, and 1 rulebook. The Kickstarter edition is available for $40 and has 2 additional cards in each of the 6 decks, 4 aid cards, 30 plastic crystals, 66 wooden custom tokens, 10 solo cards, 2 avatar cards, and 2 aura cards, and 18 tokens and a rulebook. Sanctuary, the Keeper's Era, looks absolutely incredible, especially in terms of the artwork and replayability. We are super excited for the release of it in March 2021. Coming in at number 1 is no surprise. Isaac Childress has announced the much anticipated Frosthaven, the sequel to Gloomhaven that has been number 1 on Board Game Geek for so many months that I've lost track. If you don't know Gloomhaven, I don't know where you've been. But in all seriousness, it's basically the World of Warcraft of board games. Frosthaven and Gloomhaven are both tactical skirmish-style games with over 100 scenarios for almost endless adventure. Frosthaven is a standalone campaign. Characters from Gloomhaven and its expansions are fully playable in this game. Plus, any of the 16 new characters from Frosthaven can also be played in Gloomhaven and other Gloomhaven games, making this world blend seamlessly. Frosthaven is the only outpost in the harsh northern region of the world. Play as a mercenary at the end of their ropes, willing to help bring back Frosthaven from the dreary winter. Some new aspects in Frosthaven include 2 distinct seasons to cycle through as the campaign progresses. Another small thing they have added is puzzles. You may be able to discover a small book and decipher it to get rewarded. With the addition of raw materials, money is not as valuable. Also, players will need to focus on gaining loot tokens. Those can be exchanged for a loot card from a deck, customized to the scenario. This brings us to the last new aspect, buildings. You must now construct or improve buildings to offer various bonuses for your party. Some let you craft herbs, resources, and other items. These new buildings are what bring your new mercenaries into town. There are 6 starting characters and 10 unlockable characters. We are both really excited for these new characters. They look really epic, they have sweet moves and talents, and I'm really excited just to paint some of them. The Inbox Drifter has a lot of special effect attacks that do damage over time. The Blink Blade is one of the more complex characters. It can speed up time or slow it down. I'm really interested to see how this mechanic will work in battle. Geminid is essentially 2 characters, so you have 2 states that you can attack from. One being more focused on close-ranged attacks, and the other being a ranged attack. The Necromancer specializes in summoning undead. They do cost life to play, but if played well, you can obliterate your enemy. The Deathwalker creates up to 5 shadows to kill enemies, and can also be used to buff other players and yourself. Banner Spear is mainly a melee character with a new way to attack in chains. She also has the ability to heal with certain cards. Frosthaven is a bit more expensive than the rest of the previous games on this list. You do get your money's worth with the abundance of missions and lore and hours of gameplay. The base game is only $100 if you back Kickstarter, marked down from $160. You can pledge $145 to get the base game and solo scenarios, removable stickers, and the foreteller narration. The full pledge for Frosthaven is $240, which gives you the base game and the organizer and a set of 60 metal coins and what has been mentioned before. The last bundle you can get is $285, marked down from $424. It's everything Frosthaven has to offer, and everything Gloomhaven has offered with all of its expansions. Frosthaven is set to be delivered March of 2021. This is the game the board game community has been waiting for, and it is definitely worth taking a look at and backing on Kickstarter. Well, there you have it. 5 games to back on Kickstarter in the month of April. Leave a comment if there are any games that you are looking to back on Kickstarter. Please leave a like if you're excited for any of these games as much as we are, and subscribe for more content like this. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.